Good morning on this 28th day of January. As of yesterday, following the administering of the third PCR test for all quarantined and isolated passengers and frontline officers, one more passenger returned a positive test of COVID-19. This brings the number of people affected with COVID-19 in isolation and quarantine sites to 27. This new case is a close relative contact of the 21 passengers already affected with the virus and was isolated at Faleolo Hospital. All 27 affected people are asymptomatic. We have also received the results of 7 specimen variant determination tests sent to New Zealand on January 22nd. 6 were of the Omicron variant and 1 was Delta. From the regular testing schedule, there is no community transmission. For this reason, Cabinet, in reviewing the conditions of each of the different levels of responses to COVID-19, considering that none of our frontline staff is affected, except for the 5 nurses in the isolation ward at Mataafa, Cabinet has endorsed to change our responses to COVID-19 to alert level 2 or orange, from the current level 3, which is red, of high risk. Level 2 is activated upon confirmation that any affected person is isolated in a controlled quarantine site and there is no community transmission. Accordingly, Cabinet has reviewed the state of emergency orders as follows. Level 2 COVID-19 responses, orange. We will reopen work, businesses, and government services. Public gatherings are allowed to be capped at 30 people. To permit only cargo flights into and out of Samoa until further notice. The suspension of inbound repatriation flights, seasonal worker flights, and outbound passenger service flights until further notice. We will continue regular inter-island ferry services between Upolu and S.O.E, but maintain social distancing. Container ships and oil tankers will be allowed to berth at Mataafa Wharf to ensure adequate food and fuel supply chains for Samoa. Public transportation is restricted to taxis of 4 passengers, buses to keep passenger numbers to 20, school openings to be suspended, but encourage the use of virtual, audiovisual, and other e-learning platforms, and 12-year-olds and under this age group are prohibited from public places. All other orders as of the state of emergency, Order 63, remains. The public health conditions to be observed during Level 2 are the mandatory wearing of our facial masks, the mandatory showing of our vaccination cards, social distancing, vaccination rollout for those who have not started nor completed doses, regular PCR testing for people in quarantine, and a rollout for booster doses. We also hope to start the pediatric vaccination when available. This change will come into effect on the suspension of the nationwide lockdown at 6 p.m. this evening and will be for a duration of 2 weeks. The changes are necessary to ensure that our country is protected and the safety and security of our people is maintained. I wish you a peaceful weekend ahead. May God bless us all. Soifua.